beautiful coffee beans. I'm Bullhorn Betty. I cover true crime. We're covering the case of Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old child that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. This has been a crazy case and a wild ride, but we are getting somewhere. Without further ado, listen to this bombshell information. From the East Coast to the West Coast, we are everywhere true crime is. We are asking for the public's help. We are searching in the woods. We are doing what it takes here on the Bullhorn Betty channels to find answers to the most alarming cases we have been watching on the news. I can tell you personally that I have traveled this entire country seeking these answers and bringing that content right here to you here on the Bullhorn Betty channels and Bullhorn Betty Crime Stories. We are happy with the work that we've done. We brought many answers to the public, and we have defied mainstream media in our pursuit of the truth in these cases. We will continue to work. We will continue to fight for these victims, and we will continue to tell their stories here on my channels. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty brand of channels and the Coffee Club. Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, and more importantly, thank you for allowing me to bring these victims' stories to each and every one of you, advocating for each of these victims. God bless you, God bless America, and more importantly, God bless our victims. So hey guys, good morning. It's nice to see you guys this beautiful morning. Happy hump day. I checked out what you guys had to watch this beautiful morning here on TikTok, and I thought you guys needed a little Bullhorn Betty up in your life. If you don't know who I am, I'm Bullhorn Betty, and I cover true crime. We are covering the case of Sebastian Rogers as this beautiful face right here. He's a 15-year-old boy that disappeared from inside of his home on February 26th and has not been seen since. And we are starting to learn a lot. The case for us, for social media, is starting to turn on its head. We are learning so much about this case. We have some real good information that has now really pointed our fingers squarely at the Proudfoots, which we've had a feeling for. We've had a feeling about it for a really, really long time, but we had nothing to really hone in. We were missing a lot of key details. One is, where is the car? There's got to be a car that moved this boy. There's got to be something. We started thinking about the lights that were leaked to, social media and the public a little while ago, and we saw them. We didn't really know what we were seeing. Nick Barris, a local reporter out there, is the one that brought them to the public, and it's little lights, and we couldn't make it out with the little clip he gave us because it was obviously a short clip. Nobody could make it out, but the people that saw the full clip know exactly what is going on. The ones that saw the full clip know that those were flashlights. They know those were flashlights because they went to a vehicle. We didn't see that. We never saw that. Well, now we're seeing it. Now we have people doing overlays. We've got this stuff coming in. I've been doing overlays with the back end of the Bower Sox Infinity, their 2019 Q80 Infinity. We've been taking the shadowing that we located, this shadowing right here on the back of the vehicle. This is the unknown vehicle right here. I straightened it up right here, and you can kind of see the back. You see this little step area here. Well, we've compared that to a number of vehicles, and of course I deleted all the back end of the vehicles because I did it on Canva. I'll have to pull that off. Actually, let me see if I can pull that up here on this phone. And you guys can see the work that we did here because I did it on Canva Live. If you guys would like to see it, we did it on our Canva Live. There it is. If I can turn this way. the overlay, you can see the overlay with the shadow. It kind of lines right up with it, and even the front lights here. I did the overlay. This is a 2019 Q80. It does kind of fit. It wasn't angled just right. I can't contort a car that goes like this, but we were able to do the overlay, and as you can see, it does match up with the front lights and matches up with the back lights. So it is possible that this could be, potentially one of the Bowersox vehicle. We don't know. But I did want you guys to listen to this because I thought this was ultra important for you guys. And you guys need to hear this. This is Miss Bobby, and she's on Terry Lynn. Terry Lynn has been out there. For sometimes searching the woods. I've met her. I've spoke with her. You'll see her. I'll post her stuff on my community tab, because I want to support anybody that's out there searching and looking in their efforts that they're putting in to finding this little boy. Good efforts, not this drama, nonsense crap, actually putting boots on the ground, staying out of the nonsense and staying focused on Sebastian. I surround myself with people like that. I don't get into the drama. If I have to distance myself, I have to distance myself, because at the end of the day, we're trying to find a 15-year-old boy. To me, nothing else matters. And so when we have this car here, we start wondering, what could it be? And since Beach, you just got here, I did an overlay on this vehicle to see if it matched with the Bowersox vehicle. I don't know if you were on my live last night, but we do have, I'm able. It needs to be contorted in, but I don't have 3D software to modify. I know people work well with 3D, so you guys, if anybody has this capability, maybe overlay the Q80 over this, because my problem is I'm having vertical photos, and this is kind of at an angle even when I straighten it up, because this is the original shot right here, and you really don't know what you're looking at from this angle, so I had to straighten it up to see the vehicle, and so I can see the clear back end. And, you can kind of see a little bit of the haze. What we didn't know is that the two light sources that Brett Barris had, put out to the public were actually seen going to this vehicle from the Proudfoot home. And you see the other light going back into the home. So this is very damaging and critical evidence. Okay, I want you guys to understand that this is something. This is something. I don't bring nothing to this. I don't ever go out of my way to get people, riled up. You guys know I tamper down shit real quick. If I believe it's not, and I can't find anything to corroborate that, I'm bringing that tone way down. I did it with the mattress and the pressure cleaner. I could not corroborate it. Guys, this is legit stuff. Okay, so now I want you to hear this. This is from the community, one of the community members. We've already heard him on another content creator, but I like the way this is being said here, and I think you guys are going to need to stick around for a few moments while I play this. You're going to want to hear this. Anybody that's been in the Sebastian Rogers case, that knows about the Sebastian Rogers case, we have these questions here. We're getting some of those answers, y'all. We are getting some of those answers.
To happen, we got invaded.
This is Miss Bobby.
By law enforcement. Our homes got invaded.
Well, they're calling you. Listen,
it was traumatic.
It's my chat, which I keep.
It's going to be coming up in just a second.
Trauma free. They are giving you props. You're brave.
Oh, I appreciate it.
And they have a lot of respect. And they are praying. It's all respect.
Well,
it's coming up.
Honestly, I'm a little bit nervous.
Don't be.
Because I know
about 30
December
seconds
is a little bit. They're going through a lot too. Whatever happened to him, I don't know. I don't understand. None of us understand. I'm not going to speculate. I will not do that. That is not my place.
No, leave that to me.
That's not my job.
Just leave it to me. I'll do it for you. Do you know anything about a car?
Here it is.
Oh yeah, well that was part of what I talked about on.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Okay. There was absolutely, for sure, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, it's on a neighbor's camera that there was a car on our road, on my road.
Right.
There was a car. I don't know anything about the car. I don't know. Nobody ever told me what it looked like or anything like that. But there was a car on my road around 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish in the morning. It drove down my road. It turned right onto Stafford. It sat on Stafford for about 5 minutes or so. 2 flashlights came up to the car.
Oh, God.
Walked across yards, and absolutely, without a doubt, it was 2 flashlights. The neighbor that has it on camera confirmed, without a doubt, it was absolutely 2 flashlights. It was not, and I repeat, it was not. Do I need to do it again? It was not the trash truck.
I knew it wasn't.
Absolutely, without a doubt, not a trash truck.
I told
the neighbor that had the camera talked to me personally and said, I'm telling you right now, there was a car there. It pulled, it backed up, back onto Kellen, and then drove down Kellen to leave. She has it on camera.
Oh, my God.
The flashlights were seen going through the yards. Trash trucks don't go through the yards.
That's what I said. Thank you for saying that. Trash trucks do not go
Why would
through
they do
the
that?
yards.
There's no trash trucks.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. There's not even trash cans in the yard over where the lights were.
Amen.
That's a ditch. Why
Ditch.
would you put a trash can in a ditch?
Thank you. I'm glad you're speaking up because I have argued this right here and I'm not going to
I'm
stop.
not arguing it.
Okay, so, this is why people like me do our own work. We don't listen to the law enforcement. Everybody tells us to listen to the police. This is why people like me do the work that I do, because we have been looking for a vehicle. We know that law enforcement is going to work hard to keep that vehicle from us. We have found an anonymous vehicle. We have connected the light sources that are moving through the yard to an anonymous vehicle. We have weird behavior going on inside the Proudfoot home. The lights go completely out around 11:30, and there's a silhouette in the front window looking out to see who saw what, who's up, and who heard what. And a few hours later, we've got activity from the back of their house, flashlights going to an unmarked vehicle that nobody knows about in a weird area that it should not be. And you have one faint light going back into the Proudfoot home from the back door. Now, I'm unsure what that means to everybody out here. But to me, it implies that we have been on the right track from day one. And there is no possibility that law enforcement is not squarely looking at the Proudfoots. Now, there is one photo I have questions with, okay? And we have to address it because I know it's being passed around. I don't know what this is. It could be something, but I really don't believe it is. Okay, I really, really, really don't believe it is. And one of my subs come here, and there's a lot of hurt feelings with a few creators on YouTube, and I get it. And quite frankly, I really don't care. As far as with me, and me having hurt feelings, them having hurt feelings with me, whatever. But at the end of the day, there were people, analyzing different shadowing and whatnot. So let me find P's email, because that's the one I wanted to show you, because I looked at this and I had to step back because of the creator that put this out to media, our social media. I don't trust her work. She's brought a lot of bunk information in this specific case. She's got her feelings hurt because Seth wouldn't interview with her. And then she did the same thing that the other creator did. She flipped the script and started bashing Seth because he wouldn't go on her show. And so there were a screenshot that was put out. And so I overlooked it. I didn't want to address it. And it's this one right here. And this is where they blew up the lights that are on the house to see what's going on. And you see all these little figures. You need to look in the white area, but you see what looks like figures moving. But I think this right here actually is, and I had to stop and go back, and then I looked at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is something. But the one thing I noticed is when I was watching this video through on this particular content creators, the people appeared to move, but they never really moved. They kind of all stayed in the light for the whole entire time. And so it made me feel like this must be a tree or a bush in the light, and it moves. And sometimes it looks like something because the people stayed in this same area first. Like it looked like they were moving, like they were struggling with something, you know, but they kept struggling with something right in the same spot. You know, so it almost implied that this might be some trees or bushes that are moving and they blew up on, and it's just, you know, it's giving this appearance from the light and the leaves and stuff like that. But I don't know. That's just my, when I went back to look at it, I looked at it and I'm like, holy crap, this might actually be, and I was kind of feeling like I was eating my own words. And so I even wrote them and I'm like, you know, the video might be something. So I went back and I analyzed it. And I was really getting, you know, kind of excited about it, to be honest with you. And then I noticed that it just seemed to recycle itself. And I keep thinking that it feels like leaves, you know, like tree, like, you know, whatever. So I'm not sure. But I definitely saw some crazy movement in the white when I watched this on the video. It's just the one thing I noticed, it didn't seem like they moved, you know. I mean, if they're carrying somebody, you'd think they'd be moving a little quicker than staying in the same place for 30 seconds. I don't know. That's what's making me say, okay, maybe, you know, we need to look at this a little bit more. But definitely the other ones with the lights and stuff like that were definitely a little crazy. I wish I had a way to show you guys on this. Maybe I do. Hold on. I think we do have a green screen. Don't we have a green screen with a video where I can show you guys a video? I thought there was a green screen with a video. Let's see if I can expand this a little bit. If I can, I'll show you this video I downloaded that my mod made me. Actually, she made it. Oh, I guess she can't do video. I thought there was one that had a video in it. Oh, that sucks. I wish I could play videos behind me, but I can't. So, and it's not on this phone, and she sent it to me. I think she sent it to me by text. Maybe she sent it to me by Messenger. Let me just see. If it's in Messenger, we'll be lucky. If it's not, then... Oh, she did. Okay. She sent it to me by Messenger. Thank God. Hallelujah. Okay, it's going to be kind of hard, so you guys are going to... Let me see if I can point this down a little bit more. There we go. Maybe I probably should make sure that her number's not on here as I'm showing the whole flipping world. There we go. Wish there was a way I could... Oh, can I make it bigger? I can't make it really bigger, but hopefully you guys can see it. And I want you guys to watch the light sources. I'll try to pitch it down so you guys are not getting the glare. Oh, you're going to get the glare no matter what. Maybe I'll just pitch it up. Why is that playing? It's like literally not playing. Did I take a picture of it? It's gonna be hard, the glare. Sorry guys, but you can see the glare here over here. You can see the light sources. See one right there? You can see it. She overlaid it. So you can literally see these light sources moving. Hold on, it's going to come up again.
You see subject 1 with a light source in the lower right-hand corner. Then you see subject 2 briefly appear and move toward the first before that light source is covered or obscured by bushes. Subject 1, a few seconds later, then moves out of frame. Then, subject 2 reappears and follows subject 1 off screen. More time later, and it's very vague, but then you see one of the subjects moving quickly back through the common area.
So she overlaid that, and you can literally see the lights, the lights moving, and you can see where in the yard they're moving. There's no way it's two people. And again, one ends up moving and heading back to the house. And the reason why the light was faint is because it was going in the opposite direction as the camera, and the light was the brightest coming toward the camera. So if we have this now, law enforcement had this a long time ago. Okay? This is why we kept telling everybody, and we were arguing with people, and people would literally come and attack us because we are trying to bring the news and the information about this case to you guys. We work very hard and very diligently to process information. Me personally, I have gone out of my way to make sure that my audience is up to date with the right information, not just the information. Not just the information. You know, not just the information we hear from law enforcement, not just the information that they tell us. We dig a little bit deeper than that. And it's not just me, it's everybody. Like, these interviews are coming from other creators that I'm getting a hold of. Sometimes they're my interviews, sometimes they're their interviews. But it's the work of all of us that we do out here in the true crime genre to get this information to the public when nobody wants the public to know, and it's our right to know. So I want to make sure that you guys all know we've worked hard. We've kept our eye on the prize. We're starting to see fruits of those labors as the community starts getting more nervous and feeling like law enforcement isn't taking them seriously because they've shut down and ghosted their community. And this is a horrible strategy. I try to warn against it. I think a public relations is necessary, but law enforcement doesn't listen to people. They do their own thing. But if they want to keep this contained, my suggestion would be to have a public relations and a public relations officer, because more leaks are going to start happening as more time goes on, because the public is getting nervous that their information that they get turned over to law enforcement isn't being taken seriously, and what is taking so long to arrest these parents. In my opinion, Katie should have been arrested. She should have been arrested. She was in a home, locked in a home with a child, and she cannot produce that child. And there's no evidence that child walked out of the home. Katie should have been in jail already. If she was in Florida, she would be sitting in a jail. But she's in Tennessee. So, we've got some issues here. And again, Kathy Bowersock's vehicle was seen at Warsham's. Again, people that were out here calling everybody a freaking liar when they have no clue what they're doing and throwing shade on legit information is irritating. I found out there were over 6 people that came forward that think they saw Kathy Bowersock's vehicle at Warsham's. That is a lot of people, folks. A lot of people. This is why we don't focus on the drama. This is why we don't get into wedge issues. If you guys, and granted, sometimes people need a little drama in their life. It makes them feel better. Why? I don't know. Okay? I get it. I'm a reasonable person. Okay? But this is why I don't get into it, is because it takes the focus away from the real work. You know who produced all this? The people that are doing real work. Terry Lynn went to school with this lady. Went to school with this lady. He's funny, but now he's just, I don't know. I think because I'm ultra sensitive about this case. I think Dolly has a quirky, funny sense of humor. He's just, he has a raunchy way of putting a spin on something, but it's funny, it's in some cases almost Howard Stern like, but I think because I'm ultra sensitive about this case, he's not funny to me right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so, like right now I'm just, so sensitive to this case. Any jokes are just kind of, and like I said, it's my problem, right? So, and I talk about this on my show all the time, if I have a problem with it, it's my problem, right? So it's my problem. It's not everybody else's problem. So I just remove myself from the situation, I don't go over there and attack him. You never hear me sit here and bash him on my channel or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? But I also know that, I can love people from afar. How you doing over there? All right. Well, you stay over there, asshole. I'll see you next week when you're not an asshole. Okay? That's kind of how we do it on social media. So, don't be crossing on my side of the tracks just yet. What was that, my girl? I don't want to see you for 5 to 7 days. But this is great. This is great work. This is great work. I want to give a big shout out to my mod, Guidance. She doesn't do overlays, and this is the first case that she really tried to attempt to do an overlay to give a perspective. She has her own channel too, and I hope everybody goes over there. I need to get her because I think it's Guidance with TLC, but I don't know. I forget. She's changed her name. Well, her name's different for me in my chat. But anyways, I hope everybody goes over there because she's really good. I like her stuff. And not only that, but she did great overlay work. I mean, now it might just be beginner's luck, okay? I don't want to give her too much credit too soon, okay? It might just be beginner's luck, okay? We got to throw that out there. We got to throw that Guidance just might have beginner's luck. The next project might not be as good, okay? I'm just joking. We know it all starts with a foundation that's built on that. So if she started out like this, her craft is only going to get better as she does this from case to case. That's the one thing. I mean, if you go back and look at some of my earlier videos that I did, like my actual edited videos, not my lives, they were a hot mess express, and you guys still watch them. Now I have a little bit of a better production to my videos, even my lives. I remember my lives were a hot mess. If we go back to the beginning, it's like, who is this lady? Like I didn't talk right. I didn't act right. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I just had a passion for helping, and then I got clubbed over the head. Over and over and over again. But here we are. And we're advocating. And what an amazing family we have built on the Bullhorn Betty channel of just really fighting advocates for true crime, for victims, putting the bad guys behind bars. That really is my primary goal. Many know that I've had my own problems. I've been my own problem, more importantly, right? But I never want anything that happened to me to happen to somebody else. And it's just one of those things where we just give back where we can. A lot of these cases, there's, substance abuse and alcohol and, loss of life. And I keep thinking about, my younger years. It could have been me. Some of these moms could have been my mom. And so those cases, I don't care if they're popular or not. But when it comes to those types of cases like Jennifer Santinello, my avocation for her daughter, Layla Santinello, that was not a popular case. That was not something that news crews national news would really pick up. This is a mom that was begging for help, and we got involved in it. And as soon as we got involved, brought the chaos. But, when we bring the chaos, it brings the advocacy. It brings the people, it brings the eyes, and it brings, the ability to get further on the national platform than not. And so, our avocation, she went viral. Her case went viral when there was nobody even looking at her. That's the power that social media has in these cases, especially for the ones that will never, ever, ever make it to mainstream media. That's where we excel the most about bringing answers. Now, I wish this toxicity in this true crime would stop, but until the audience has no more palate for it and really wants to advocate for the victim, it will not stop, because the audience is what keeps these drama channels in business. So always remember that. All right, guys, I just wanted to bring to you more evidence, receipts, those things that these Yahoo channels do not have, that have been pointing the finger at everybody else, but squarely at the Proudfoots and the Bowersox, which is where our focus has been. Lucy, you missed a lot. You missed a lot, love bug. So, you know what? For everybody that's just tuning in, let's go back through everything that we know. If you guys would like to stay here, I'll try to get it into a more Reader's Digest version, since we already went through it once. So what we have here, as many of you know, Sebastian Rogers, the 15-year-old boy that disappeared from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee, his mother has been trying to tell us for a significant time that he just walked out the door. We here on the Bullhorn Betty channel have challenged all of that. This is the mother, this is Katie Proudfoot, this is the stepfather, Chris Proudfoot. We have found out that they have been visited at their home multiple times by CPS, which is a mind blower for many of us. But now we know what we know. There's no evidence this boy walked out of the house, even though Chris Proudfoot has said if anybody comes up to his house to break in, a hazy figure, you may not be able to see it, but you would see a figure at their front door from their neighbor's Ring doorbell camera. However, you would have seen Sebastian Rogers walk out of that door. You would have seen the front door open. You would have seen a hazy figure walk out. None of that happened. So we have been challenging all of the Proudfoot statements, and we do not believe the majority of the statements that they have peddled to the public. And I have been diligently trying to find a vehicle, and I have been thinking the vehicle was over at the construction site, because that is where the hit happened. No other hit happened except over on the construction site. The hit did not happen at their house. They did not follow a trail from their house to the construction site. The hit happened at the construction site. It stopped and ended at the construction site. Did they move something over there and set it down so they could come back and pick it up unseen? Because there was a vehicle down, an unidentified vehicle. So we found our unidentified vehicle, and listen to this. Now we have leaked video footage of those light sources Brett Barris put out to the public. We now have a video of those light sources going to that vehicle. So we have the light sources Brett Barris put out. So we know it's legit. He's the news reporter out in that area. And it's going to that car that's on the video later in that video. It's from the same camera on the same night. And then earlier that night, we have a different camera from a different neighbor that shows a lot of light activity in Sebastian's room from 9 to 11:30, where his light finally went out at 11:30. They see a figure going across the house, turning the lights off in the back. The next thing you know, every light in the house goes off. And then the video across the street picks up a silhouette in the front window looking out, as if they're looking to see who's up and who just saw what. And then after all of that, you see the two light sources going out from the backside of their home to an unidentified vehicle, and another light source going back into the back house of the Proudfoot. That's what we have. That is now out in the public. There is no way law enforcement has not had this in their possession, custody, and control since a few days after this investigation started, this missing person started. I think this is the bombshell that called the DA out to that scene within 3 days. I think this is what they had that turned this case on its head and did a completely 180 on marker 3. They did their searches up until 5 more days after that, and they stopped all their searches. This started turning toward foul play and became an investigation. what triggered them in that 72 hours? What triggered them in that 72 hours that made them turn this case on its head and bring the DA out there? I believe it was these videos. I truly believe it was these videos. You can clearly see a lot of weird phenomenons going on inside the Proudfoot home and on the outside of the Proudfoot home, starting at the back door, not the front. All the activity is on the back side where Chris and Katie lay their head. There's a back door and a screened-in patio porch type of situation back there that leads out to the backyard where the light sources were seen. So I don't know what that says to all of you, but to me, this says we were on the right track from the beginning. This says that there's something that stinks to high heaven. This solidifies that I don't believe this boy is alive. These are not actions of somebody that just sent this child off to take him away from his father, or, you know, this is something that happened inside that home, probably right around 10 p.m. at night. And Chris disappeared for over 17 hours after all of this. I don't believe the child was, I think that child was removed that night. There's too much activity to say otherwise. If something happened in that home, around 3 to 4 a.m. is when this child was removed from that home. Something happened around 10, and the child was removed between 3 to 4 a.m., in my opinion. Maybe earlier. Maybe they were just cleaning up at 3 to 4. And either way, however you look at it, maybe it was Kathy Bowersox. Maybe it was Kathy Bowersox coming over there to help her clean up the room while they carried, you know, while Sebastian went to the construction site. Chris came to the construction site, took Sebastian off, and and Kathy and Katie are inside cleaning the house and getting everything out and walking it to the vehicle. I don't know. I don't know those specifics, but I do know that there are weird phenomenons. Hey, Chasing Crimes, it's nice to see you. So there it is. If you guys need to find this information for yourself for presentation purposes, Terry Lynn, and let me see what you're gonna have to go to Guidance's site. She's one of my mods. You're gonna have to go over to her channel to pull those videos, the videos of the lights and stuff. But Terry Lynn's is an 11-hour live. It was 2 days ago, and it says Proudfoot neighbor calls in, and it was from June 9th, and it's the 11-hour search that she did. So if you guys want to go there, it's right around the 2 hour and 17 marker to about 2 hours and 20 minutes, about a 3-minute span of that clip. But if you want to hear her whole interview, I haven't heard her whole interview with Terry. I'm interested in hearing that. So if you guys need to clip that, it's over on Terry Lynn's channel, and I just gave you guys the points, the marks for that. The videos that you're seeing here, the ones that have these images here, right here, are on bed crime stories. And I think she did another video last night or that really hone in on some of the key details here. These are legit photos. These are not, I'm telling you guys, these are legit photos. These are not manufactured photos in the least. These are legit photos that came from this home. These are legit videos that were leaked by Nick Barris from this homeowner. The homeowner got a little hot under the collar, did not expect it to be leaked from my understanding, but either way, it's leaked. So when I started my research, I was looking at the back ends of how vehicles look. Of course, you know, I do true crime, so the best stuff we had, this came from Nick. This front came from Vinnie Politan. And, you know, I just wanted to see the curvature on the back. But we have a little more detail with this because we have this weird phenomenon right here. I don't know if you see it, but it has a very distinct back end of this vehicle. A very distinct back end of this vehicle. And so, and when we line the Q80 up to it, it does. And this light right here, this tiny little light down here, in the bumper of the 2019 Q80, it has like this indent in there. It's for the design, you know, it's a design feature, but it has this little indentation in like a little, I don't know how to a QX80 or whatever. Yeah, thank you. I don't know much about Affinity, so bear with me. But it has this little indentation in the bumper that's there for design. And this is where this little light lines right up to, this bottom light right here. It lines right up into that little well that has the curve in the bumper. Yeah. So, you know, I mean, there are a lot of similarities here with Kathy Bowersock's vehicle. Now, I'm not going to stretch or say that it's hers in any way, shape, or form. I just find it awfully funny. I don't know too many people that hang around the Bowersocks. They have a limited people of association. And for people like me, that is a field day because it limits any possibility of outside help. They don't know nobody. They don't keep in contact with people. They don't have friendly relationships with people. They stay isolated. They keep people at a distance. They're in their own bubble. So we have information, and this is what the neighbors said. Let me get back to it so you guys can hear it. It's coming up. I think it's right at the 17:30 minute mark. Let me just go back. I'll get it to the 17. Okay, we're going to have to listen. No, that's too far. 17. It always pops it for me. There we go.
Not do that. That is not my place.
No, leave that to me.
That's not my job.
Just leave it to me. I'll do it for you. Do you know anything about a car?
I mean,
a car.
Here it is.
Oh, yeah, well, that was part of what I talked about on...
This is the car they're referring to.
Okay. There was absolutely, for sure, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt, it's on a neighbor's camera that there was a car on our road, on my road.
Right.
There was a car. I don't know anything about the car. I don't know. Nobody ever told.
This is Terry Lynn. Terry Lynn, her channel is Terry Lynn. It's TerriLynn, 2 words. Look up Terry Lynn if you need to. True crime. I don't know how. That's the best way I can find her. I can't post the link on here. But let's listen to what she says about the car.
Me what it looked like or anything like that, but there was a car on my road around 3:30, 4 o'clock-ish in the morning. It drove down my road. It turned right onto Stafford. It sat on Stafford for about 5 minutes or so. 2 flashlights came up to the car.
Oh, God.
Walked across yards, and absolutely, without a doubt, it was 2 flashlights. The neighbor that has it on camera confirmed, without a doubt, it was absolutely 2 flashlights. It was not, and I'll repeat, it was not. Do I need to do it again? It was not the trash truck.
I knew it wasn't.
Absolutely, without a doubt, not a trash truck. The neighbor that had the camera talked to me personally and said, I'm telling you right now, there was a car there It pulled it back onto Kellen, and then drove down Kellen to leave. She has it on camera.
Oh my God.
The flashlights were seen going through the yard. Trash trucks don't go through the yard.
That's what I said. Thank you for saying that. Trash trucks do not go
Why would
through
they do
the
that?
yards.
There's no trash trucks.
Thank you.
But here's the thing. There's not even trash cans in the yard over where the lights were.
Amen.
That's a ditch.
Ditch.
Why would you put a trash can in a ditch?
Thank you. I'm glad you're speaking up because I have argued this right here and I'm not going to stop.
I tried arguing it. I called one of the detectives, and I'm not going to call out law enforcement because that's not nice.
I'm not going to play anything else because I played everything I needed to play. So there you guys have it. Okay, the light source is coming from the Proudfoot home, went to this vehicle right here. And we did an overlay of this vehicle on Canva. Let me pull that up for you. For those that weren't here for that, we did an overlay of Canva. And as you see, the lights match up. Now this needs to be pivoted in a little bit more, but you can see the distance even kind of lines up with the lights in the front end. The back here, see that step? Well, it so happens that there is a weird back end of this Infinity that produces this step shape right below the window. And it's unique to an SUV, or unique to the Infinity, and you're kind of seeing it right here, this step. So, you know, I'm just saying there is a lot of similarities with what is known and believed to be the Proudfoot the Bower Sox vehicle and the back end of this right here. I've got it overlaid. This is the front lights. These are the lights you're seeing right here. This right here, the haze on the back of it. Can I move it? Let me see if I can move this. It's not letting me move it. But if I can move it, and it lines up with these lights here. And this right here, down here, this little circle light, there's a little design feature right here that just puts a little decorative, indentation in the bumper. And that lines right up here with this little circle dot down here that I couldn't figure out what that was. It lines right up in that divot in the bumper. So I'm just saying, we can't say it is, but it does have this weird little step feature that we're seeing right back here. We're seeing that right there. We're seeing that. So it's possible. It's possible that it's the Bower Sox Q80, Q something 80. And I have, did I have the back of the Bower Sox? But that's kind of what you know what? I do have the Bower Sox in here. I can tell you exactly what they have because we looked at the back of their vehicle. Hold on, let me look at my stuff here. Oh, I removed the Bower Sox. No, there's the Bower Sox one, but I didn't get the back one. See, I've got 3 of the Bower Sox vehicles that we took from the actual vehicle that we took from when they were chasing down a content creator and he recorded them. So I was somebody went into this thing and sent me all the clips of the angles of the vehicles. And so it does have this weird step. Again, that right there is a problem for me because that is a feature that I've seen on that Infinity, the back of that Infinity Q whatever 80 vehicle that they drive. So there's your information, folks. If you guys find this information, please don't keep me a secret. Let people know that we do dive in deep on these cases. Chronicles of Olivia are, we're planning a search right now. We've got a couple things going on. Layla Santinello's coming up for her 1-year milestone. I'm still working on trying to figure out the details for that. And as soon as I know that, I'll let you guys know. That will be on June 27th, and that is in Kingsport, Tennessee. So if you guys are near that area, please mark your calendars. I'll get you the information, but it is the 1 year milestone since she's been missing. So something is going to happen that day. So if you are in the area and want to participate, just mark that day off. I don't know what the plans are just yet, but once I do, I will let you know. But it's definitely going to be something on that day. So just to bear with me, and we'll get you guys as much information as soon as possible. Okay, guys? Well, rock it out with your coffee beads out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, I want you guys to be safe, but more importantly, please be kind to one another. We have enough chaos and craziness and meanness and hate in the world. We don't need to contribute to it. We need to show love, we need to show strength, and we need to help. God bless.